We continue our discussion about AT&T's bid for T-Mobile, now with an analyst who's not so sure the deal will see the light of day since it must get approval from the government in various branches. Joining us now by phone to talk about it from phone he's here in New York City, I should say, is Todd Rethemeier. He's an analyst at Hudson Square Research. So, Todd, why do you think it might not ultimately get the approval from regulators here?
Well, this is a mega deal here in the industry, and it. You know, the combined market share of these two companies would be 43%, and it would take the number of competitors down from, well, total competitors from 5 to 4, but if you look only at the postpaid segment, it would be going from 4 operators to 3. And just given the current climate in Washington, I'm just not sure that a deal of this size can make it through. I mean, I'm not saying definitively it won't get approved. You know, obviously AT&T wouldn't have announced the deal if they didn't have some confidence in it.
Right, and it's a pretty big breakup fee. Matt and I were talking about it. Let me ask you, though, what could be done to even kind of grease the wheels here a little bit to make sure it does get done?
Yeah, they certainly can talk with the FCC and the Department of Justice about possibly divesting some markets where, you know, some certain cities where they have a dominant market share in, or perhaps even look at some possible price controls or something of that nature agree to not raise prices for X amount of time or something like that. And I'm sure those type of things will be talked about.
I wonder what you think about, I mean, looking at the $3 billion breakup fee, obviously the guys at Deutsche Telekom wouldn't mind if it fell apart either, because then they'd have $3 billion more and could continue talks with Sprint that they've been having for over a decade. What do you think, though, about AT&T's confidence? I mean, they give more money, at least according to OpenSecrets.org, to Washington politicians than unions here, which says a lot. More than Goldman Sachs or really any other company. Don't you think they feel like they must have politicians in their pocket, this deal sort of under control?
Well, there's no doubt that of all telecom companies and just all companies in general, AT&T does a very, very good job of protecting its interests in Washington. And that's why I think that they would even think of a deal like this. They certainly do know their way around that city.
Todd, one more question I want to ask you. I mean, does this make sense? What I think about is all the people who've been on the AT&T networks and have complained about the service, and here they are adding more onto their networks, if you will. Does it really make sense? Or is AT&T going to be able to really meet that new demand here?
Oh, I think absolutely the deal makes sense if they can get it through. Because in addition to buying all of T-Mobile's customers, they're also buying all of T-Mobile's network and spectrum licenses. And then because both companies use the same GSM technology standard, there'll be significant cost benefits of combining those two networks.
All right, hey, Todd, thanks so much for joining us. Todd Rethemeier there of Hudson Square Research. We're going to